Sorry about that. I had to redo the video. It froze up for a second. But anyway, let's get back to starting off where I was at. And then an audit, and Wisconsin had conducted an audit for over 10 months, and they just confirmed that they found no evidence of election fraud, which is fucking hysterical because 10 months later, you got the Trump sycophantic inbreds that vote Republican. They've been bitching for 10 months, or almost a year later now, about the election being stolen from Trump, which it wasn't. So the probe came after Wisconsin bankrolled a separate nonpartisan investigation into election fraud claims. Now, a conservative group investigating allegations of election fraud in Wisconsin was unable to find any evidence of wrongdoing or miscounting that would have affected the state's 2020 results. Now, over a 10-month period, this endeavor cost taxpayers more than $600,000. The Wisconsin Institute for Liberty and Law, also known as WIL, the group that was in charge of conducting this audit investigation, they examined nearly 20,000 ballots, and they examined 29,000 absentee ballots, writing in a report that it found no evidence of widespread voter fraud, according to Forbes. Now, just 42 ballots were confirmed to be someone voting on behalf of someone who was deceased, and 130 ballots were found to come from people that were felons, which they weren't allowed to vote if you're a felon. The group also found no evidence of ballot dumping for President Joe Biden, but the group did spend months investigating accusations from the crackhead My Pillow guy, turned conspiracy theorist Mike Lindell, who still uses crack every day, including the claim that which included the claim that he made that technology made by election security company Dominion, the voting systems that were hacked or otherwise manipulated. But unsurprisingly to election experts who have been sounding the alarm for months that the crackhead Lindell's claims were lies, and Will was unable to substantiate the claims that Lindell was making. In fact, the group even noted that Democrats underperformed expectations on average in areas that used the Dominion voting machines in question. Now, Will's investigation comes after the Wisconsin bank rolled a separate nonpartisan investigation into election fraud claims, one that also found no evidence of widespread fraud, but Republicans in Wisconsin have repeatedly called for investigations into spurious allegations of election fraud for the past year. Now, Trump and the sycophantic inbreds still maintain widespread election fraud had contributed to his loss to the current President Joe Biden. No, it didn't. Though similar audits across a number of other states have repeatedly debunked these claims, and the most high-profile of these came earlier this year in Arizona, where a first-time conservative election audit group called that had no credibility whatsoever, the Cyber Ninjas, also failed to substantiate a number of claims about the widespread election fraud that they claimed happened in that state. Now, former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman, who was tapped to head the Wisconsin's Republican-led audit, courted controversy earlier this year when his ties to the crackhead Lindell surfaced, and Gableman even attended the crackhead Lindell's heavily mocked South Dakota Cyber Symposium, which also failed to prove election fraud had ever occurred. Moving forward, a major fissure in the Republican Party is forming over how much emphasis to put on the false allegations of election fraud, and with Trump eyeing the 2024 nomination, it's a problem that it's not going away anytime soon. Now, even after these high-profile defeats, the elected officials like the Representative Brian Babin of Texas have said things like, "We need to make sure that we're going to get to the bottom of some very abnormal, animalistic, strange, or irregular things that have happened, so that we don't have the repeat of that. We've got to have confidence in our elections." Now, other Republicans, like the Representative Dan Crenshaw, have said that they've grown tired of the investigations into the 2020 election. He said Trump's obsession over his loss is absolutely unhelpful to the GOP, adding that when we talk to the sycophantic inbred voters that vote Republican, he says, "I'm very blunt with them. I say stop being self-defeating, go out and vote. You shouldn't listen to anyone who tells you not to." So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for listening.